What's good, y'all? I thank y'all for checking in. This is the very first episode 1 of Real Raw Reviews. This is a series I'm going to be adding to my channel. I pondered on it for a little while. It's 2020. I want to kind of expand my channel and do other things that I'm interested in, and movies is a thing that, I've always been into. It's very therapeutic for me. I just like to just kick back and watch movies. And so this series is basically going to be a platform to do reviews on movies, but kind of in an unorthodox, contrary to the popular method of doing movie reviews. I'm going to be more straightforward, raw with my opinions and my comments, and open the floor to you all. Spam the comment section if you have questions, if you have answers to some of the questions I may ask. Let me know what you all think about the movies. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Queen and Slim will be the first movie premiering on this series. Once again, I thank y'all for tuning in to Real Raw Reviews, and let's get into the movie, Queen and Slim. The movie opens up with Queen and Slim. They're out at a little restaurant and they're eating. I don't know which one is Queen and Slim. I don't think they ever specified throughout the movie. If you all know which one was Queen, which one was Slim, hit the comment section, let me know. I would assume that Queen was the female, Slim was the guy, but then I've also seen other movie reviews on YouTube where they refer to the guy as Queen and the girl as Slim, so I don't know, to be honest. So y'all let me know. For this video purposes, I'm going to say that Slim is the girl and Queen is the guy. But anyway, the movie opens up with them in the restaurant, and it kind of depicts Slim as having a nasty attitude. Bad impression with me when the movie first started. I'm thinking this is your typical angry woman type deal, and she was kind of just a little doing too much, just a little attitude in the diner when they was eating. When I first started watching the movie, I wasn't really feeling her, but she did make a good comment. She stated to Queen that she's an attorney and she was kind of going through different emotions because someone that she was representing, one of her clients, was given the death penalty, and she made the comment that a state shouldn't decide if someone lives or dies. I totally agree with that. I feel like the worst punishment you can give somebody is a life sentence. I don't think even the judicial system, the court system, I don't think they have the right to determine who lives and dies. I think that's solely up to God, but that's the system we have in a lot of states. So she made that statement, and I really did agree with her despite the whole attitude thing at the diner she had going. They leave the diner. Queen is headed to drop Slim off. They get pulled over by this Caucasian cop. The cop comes up to the window, and Slim, like I said, for this video I'm referring to the female as Slim, she kind of had an attitude with the cop, and I feel like she was doing too much as opposed to just chilling and letting Queen, do his best to kind of take care of the situation. I think she kind of amped it up with just attitude and sassiness and just doing too much. The cop asks Queen to step out of the car, and it may just be me. Y'all let me know in the comment section if y'all seen the movie. Did the cop look like Aaron Rodgers to y'all? Y'all might disagree. Let me know in the comment section. Fast forward to there. He has Queen outside. He's searching the trunk of the car, and Queen makes the comment, it's cold, how long will we be out here? Just kind of trying to go and get the process over with. And I guess the cop was offended by that, and the cop pulls out a gun for no reason. I feel like that was unnecessary. Respect warrants respect, and I feel like Queen was respectful throughout the whole ordeal, even though Slim was giving the cop a little bit of attitude. For the most part, I don't think the situation called for him to pull his gun out. Slim steps out of the car, and I understand her motive. She was stepping out to let the cop know it's not right for you to have a gun pointed at him. I'm about to get my phone out and record, but I feel like she just went about it the wrong way. If you're gonna do that, I feel like Slim should have hopped out the car. I already had the phone in hand. Ain't no hopping out the car and, oh, I'm finna get my phone out my pocket, even though I know technically, you have a right to do that, but just the whole idea of reaching while the emotions are already high, I just think she should have hopped out the car, with the phone already in hand. Some of y'all might feel as if she shouldn't even hopped out the car, so y'all let me know in the comment section. But if she's gonna hop out the car to kind of defend Queen, then I just feel like she should have already had the phone in hand, and camera recording. When she pulls out the phone, the cop shoots her in the leg, and then at this point, just off adrenaline and instinct, I guess, Queen goes and gets into a little tussle with the officer. The gun drops, and the officer begins to beat on Queen. In the whole tussle, he grabs the gun and fires and kills the cop. And once they kill the cop, Slim lets Queen know that, you know, we have to leave. I don't know if I would have left. I'm not sure. Y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all would have done. But I'm looking at it like, you know, y'all innocent. Hopefully this is on his body cam or his dash cam. It's clearly, you know, self-defense. So why leave, you know, call the police and sit there and explain what happened, and you know, you have the footage to back it up, and it's self-defense. But I don't know what I would have done in that situation. So y'all in the comments, let me know what y'all would have done. But they ended up leaving. I also want to ask, if Slim wouldn't have got out the car, do y'all think Queen would have died? If Slim would have never got out the car, do y'all think the officer would have shot him? I don't know, but it's kind of like a maybe. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's a strong possibility, but I don't know if he would have killed them, or I don't know if Slim getting out the car kind of escalated an already intense moment. I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think. But in the car, Slim makes the comment, we made the decision to run together. I feel like that was cap. You told Queen, grab the gun, let's go. Queen was on some, you know, we can't leave him here, you know, dead like that. Slim told him, let's go. But then later in the car, she said, we made the decision to run together. So at this point, with the attitude and the dying and then this, I'm like, she got females looking bad. You know, in the movie, it's just 10, 15 minutes in. I'm like, she doing too much. And then she wishy-washy with the statements. And she really threw me off because it's a scene when they're riding and Queen is playing Marvin Sapp. Slim makes the comment, you know, cut that shit down. And at this point, I'm like, whoa, you know, you gonna tell the man cut the gospel down? You know what I'm saying? You might be a little demon or something. He probably was just trying to listen to that to get his mind right, to be able to relax and focus. And she might have didn't want to hear no music, you know, just because of the situation was tense. But at the same time, like, you didn't have to tell him, you know, cut the gospel down like that, like the way she did. I just wasn't feeling that part. So up until this point, it's like steady strikes against her that it's just, I'm feeling her less and less, you know, as the movie's starting and opening up. Fast forward to a point where they run out of gas, and so they're on the side of the road, they see a truck pulling up, and they decide to see if they can catch a ride. And Queen made a comment, you know, hopefully they're black. And Slim says if they are black, that's not always a good thing. I think that was a powerful statement, because not to say anything towards black people, but it's like a large majority of the black population has this tendency to not stick together, to not come together, to not truly want to help each other. It goes both ways. It could have been a racist Caucasian pulled up, you know, or it could have been a Caucasian pulled up that was, you know, just wanted to purely help them. The same with if a black person pulled up, they probably could have wanted to truly help them, or they probably could have had other intentions. So you never know. Slim goes on to make the comment earlier that was talking, and she was like, you know, you just shot an officer, you know, you're a criminal. And then later in the movie, she makes the comment that you're not guilty. So just another situation of her just being wishy-washy throughout the movie, in my opinion. Like, you kind of just saying things that are contradicting each other. They get to a little fast food restaurant. They want to get something to eat. They hungry. They've been riding for a little minute. So they see a little kid in the parking lot playing with some more kids. They call him up to the car, give them the money, and tell them what they want, you know, and sends him in the fast food place to get the food. At this point, I'm kind of like, where is the parent? No, parents. You know, how your kid out in the parking lot and just walk up to a stranger car and talking to them for a little minute, and you don't see them wherever you at, whatever you're doing. That kind of had me like, you know, what's going on? They get their food, and they're sitting in the vehicle. The guy Queen makes a comment to Slim. He said, why do black people always feel the need to be excellent? He says we should be ourselves, and I feel like being yourself is excellent. Being black is excellent, not to take away from any other race or ethnicity. But being yourself, you know, embracing yourself, embracing your race, your color, that is excellent. So I wasn't really feeling him when he made that statement. But y'all let me know in the comments, you know, what y'all think. As they leaving the fast food place, they accidentally drive the car into and bump into the little kid's father. So they end up having to take him to the hospital, dropping him off. And while they were taking him to drop him off, the parent made the comment that I'm glad y'all did what y'all did, you know, shot the cop because he killed an innocent unarmed black man like the previous year or something like that. Queen and Slim didn't know that. That even threw me off. I'm like, wow, you know, it's crazy how karma works, you know, in a sense. It kind of opened up a different perspective into the movie because up until that point you're debating, you know, should they have shot him? Did they do the right thing or did they not? But then when you hear that, you know, he killed an innocent, you know, unarmed black person the previous year, it's kind of like, was that karma? It opens up the door to ask yourselves that. So they're riding and Slim makes the comment that she doesn't believe in God, and that kind of, when she said that, I understood why she was so adamant to cut the gospel off that Queen was playing on the radio, in the car radio. Me personally, at that point, when she said that, even though we're on the run, like, you gotta get out. Like, you telling me you don't believe in God, so it's kind of like nothing against whatever you believe in. It's just with that type of energy, you know, we ain't finna make it too far on the run. I mean, I hate that she said that, but she's entitled to feel how she feels and believe in whatever she believes in. They get to the gas station and they have to go in and get some gas, but they don't have any money. So Queen goes in and he shows them the gun and asks for some gas. And the Caucasian cashier asks to see the gun. Like a goofy, Queen gives him the gun, but you know, the cashier said, you know, if you want gas, you know, that's the only way you're gonna get it. So he ends up letting the man see the gun, and I'm thinking to myself, why not take the clip out? Because the cashier ends up pointing the gun at him, and even though he didn't shoot him, he was just kind of messing with him. It's still like, in the first place, Queen, why would you have gave him a loaded gun? Like, I just feel like that was goofy. I didn't understand why he did that. And just the way the cashier was acting is like, you're acting like a future school shooter. He made the comment, you know, just something about a weapon in your hands and you feel powerful. And I'm just like, you're doing too much just because you holding a gun. If a gun make you feel like that, that's the type of person that go and make bad decisions with the gun. And so when he said that, I'm just kind of like, well, you a future school shooter talking like that. They get the gas and they head to Slim's uncle house. So it's obviously a pimp. You know, he has women all throughout the house. There's one part where one of the chicks and Slim are talking. She was asking the chick about her uncle, and the chick made the comment that, you know, out there he's not shit, but in here we treat him like a king. Now I don't know if she meant that out there the world treats him like shit, or I don't know if she meant that out there he just ain't shit. You know, he ain't got nothing going for himself. He ain't nothing. But if she meant that, you know, the world treats him like he ain't shit, so inside that house they treat him like a king, I was really feeling that, you know. That's not to take away from the ladies, but us as black men, you know, we go through a lot. To hear a woman say, you know, I know he's not nothing out there, you know, in the real world, and so I treat him like a king. I just feel like that was real dope of her to say, for that to be her mindset. You know, I just feel like that was real dope. Queen and Slim were sitting in the bed at their uncle's house. Uncle let them spend the night for a night, and as they're talking, Queen makes the comment that, cause Slim asked him, you know, are you okay? And Queen makes the comment, yeah, I'm okay. She said, you know, how, with everything going on? We shot a cop, we on the run. And Queen makes the comment, you know, I'm used to saying okay when I'm really not. And that spoke volumes, you know. Us as people, you know, you have to check on your mental health, you know. You might want to say you're okay, try and put a smile on your face, keep going, but sometimes it's okay to talk, vent, you know what I'm saying, seek therapy, counseling, whatever it may be, because when you keep that stuff bottled in, they can become, you know, a toxin, a drain on you. And so, but a lot of people, you know, myself included, are like that, you know. We say we're okay and we keep it moving, so it's just something that we have to work on as human beings. But when he said that, I definitely felt that statement. So as they're chilling in the bed, a police officer comes by the uncle's house. Not that he was called out or anything like that, but he comes by the house because one of the chicks that works for the uncle, I guess, used to mess with the cop. And so he's coming by, I guess, called himself checking on the chick. And I was just like, you know, you super lame for that. But I'm sure that happens a lot with these officers who probably married or got women, and then they messing with these side chicks and other chicks and really being their feelings about these chicks. Like, really use their power and their authority and their privileges as law enforcement to really harass people, you know, really bother people just because of a chick. I just feel like that was lame of the officer to just pull up at this dude's house and make it seem like you just checking to see what's going on when really you coming to see that chick. Really you want to just pop in and show your face to the chick, make sure she was okay. I just feel like that was a lame move by the officer. But, you know, it happens every day. Y'all gotta excuse me if I keep looking down. Like I say, I took notes. I'm a note guy. So I took notes throughout the movie. So I'm just peeping down in my notes. They leave the uncle house after the cop came and left. I guess they kind of got spooked. You know, the uncle told them, y'all need to get a move on. He gives them, you know, keys to one of his cars. Lets them borrow one of his cars. And as they're driving, they look over. And it was a scene where it looked like it was slaves in the field. Like black people was out there working the fields, and it looked like a white guy was just talking to him. And I didn't understand that scene. For y'all who have seen the movie, if I'm tripping, let me know in the comments. But was that like supposed to be like slaves over there in the field working, and the white man, you know, looking over them and putting them to work? I was lost and confused by that scene. Queen hears a live band playing as he's driving, so he pulls over to the little hole in the wall club. He asks Slim to come in and have a dance with him. And so as they're in the little club and they're dancing, it's a scene where Queen tries to move his hands down and rub on her butt, and she moves his hand back like nah, but then she turns right around and puts her butt on him. So I just felt like, you know, I guess typical woman stuff, like just teasing him. Like literally he was just trying to grab your butt. You moved his hands, then you turn around and put your butt on him. During that scene, it's a powerful scene where they're talking. To sum up what they were saying, Queen asked Slim what does she want? And Slim said in so many words, she wants to be loved regardless of her flaws. And I felt on that, you know, as a woman, that's what you should want. But also, she stated that she wants a man to comfort her and things and accept her flaws. But women have to work on their flaws as well. You know, a guy's not going to sit and deal with certain things, especially if you're not trying to work on them and correct them. So I definitely feel what she was saying when she was speaking on what she wanted from a man. But ladies, y'all have to work on, you know, your flaws as well. Don't just think, oh, he accepts me for me, so I can just keep these flaws and just keep showing them and never work on them. You have to work on them. Slim asked Queen, you know, what does he want in a woman? He said, you know, he just wants a ride or die. Somebody to just be there for him, you know, and have his back. I think that summed up, you know, not only just in black culture, but just in general. Like, I think that's typically what men look for. They just want loyalty. They just want to feel like, okay, this chick loyal to me, she holds me down. And I think on the other hand, women want somebody to, you know, love them for who they are, that they can be themselves around and they can feel accepted and safe with and not judged. And so I just think that was a powerful scene when they was in the club and they was having this dialogue between themselves. I just feel like that was a powerful scene. They leave the club and they're passing by some land with some horses out there. They pull over and for some reason Queen makes the decision he wants to get on the horse. And I'm like, you know, bro, y'all on the run. Y'all already stopped by the club, had some drinks and, you know, got your little dance on. But now y'all pulling over just to hop on the horse for a little while. I feel like y'all need to be, you know, keeping it moving, staying focused. But at the same time, with the tensions being so high and maybe being so stressed, maybe they just wanted to pull over and kind of, you know, breathe and relax and, you know, get away for a minute. And maybe, you know, I guess riding the horse was therapeutic. But I wouldn't have did it. If we on the run, we need to keep moving. And then you got on the white horses that fast forward to the car breaks down, the uncle's car breaks down, so they take it to a shop. If they're at the shop and, you know, the guy's about to work on their car, Queen walks out to the restroom and he sees a phone by the office at the auto shop. And he makes the decision to call his dad. And I don't know if I was really feeling that decision. I understand that he wanted to call and just let his people know that he was okay, but at the same time, like Slim had told him earlier in the movie, you know, you don't need to do that. That's a way for them to track us, you know, and see where we at. And he called his dad, and sure enough, the feds was sitting there at the house with his dad. So they were trying to record the conversation, but the dad hung up before they could, I guess, get a trace on the call. Salute to that dad. You know, he kept his son safe with it. But on the side of Queen, I'm like, you just made a bad decision. You shouldn't have called your dad and your people then at that moment. You know, just keep it moving till y'all somewhere and y'all safe or y'all free or whatever the case may be. As he comes out the restroom and he's back talking with the mechanic reveals to them that he knows who they are. Just even the people at the club earlier, they knew who they were. So I guess they had seen them in the news and in newspapers and things like that. So the mechanic let him know that he knew who they were, and he made the comment that he would have taken his ticket and just been on his way as opposed to engaging in a situation that was escalating with the cop. Y'all let me know in the comments, was y'all feeling that comment from the mechanic? You know, would y'all have just taken the ticket and yes sir, yes sir, yes sir, or would some may have called, you know, kiss ass, or would y'all, you know, have stood for what you believed in? I'm not sure. Of course, everything in me would have wanted to, you know, stand for what I believe in and ask questions, you know, why am I being asked to get out the car? Why is a gun pointed at me? But at the same time, it's also a part of me that's kind of like, you know, just hit them with the yes sir, you know, get your ticket if that was the case and keep it moving. But I don't know. I can't say what I would have done in that situation or wouldn't have done. So y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all would have done. The mechanic has a little son name was Junior. And I don't know, was the guy who played his son, was that the little guy from the New Edition series on BET? He looked a lot like him. Y'all let me know in the comment section, was that him? Fast forward to, you know, they get their car fixed and they leave, and the little town or wherever they was just in when they were getting their car worked on, a riot breaks out between the police and SWAT teams and all that, and people in the community who were protesting about the Queen and Slim situation. By this point, it's probably, you know, the hit, you know, national news, you know, so everybody knew what was happening, knew that they were on the run, and so black people had began to protest, and so this big riot out in the streets between the community and the police. It's this scene where Junior, the mechanic's son, pulls out a gun and points it at one of the officers. The officer was black, and the officer was telling them, just go home. This environment isn't safe. You know, you're a child. You may not understand what's going on out here. You know, just go home. And the black officer was real respectful to him, in my opinion. Gave him no problems or wasn't, you know, trying to escalate anything. But for no reason, Junior just shot him. And to me, that scene kind of symbolized not only the youth, the African-American youth who are kind of just lost and misguided, but it kind of symbolized just senseless killing, you know, black on black killing. Here it is, you have this officer who probably didn't even want to go to work that day, probably didn't want to, you know, be out there in a riot, or didn't think he would be out there in a riot that day, but duty called and that's where he was at that day. On Junior's end, you're not even killing the enemy or attacking the enemy, you shooting black cop, you know, for all we know, that cop maybe was one of the good ones. And here it is, Junior, you shot him, you know, when y'all should have been coming together and, you know, as one, as black people. But to me, that scene really summed up a lot of what's going on in the real world, you know, just senseless black on black killing from, you know, people who just don't have understanding, don't have respect for one another. So I think that was a powerful scene, even though it was kind of goofy, because Junior had no reason to do that, in my opinion. But to me, it was kind of powerful scene if you look at the symbolism in the scene. Queen and Slim end up pulling up on this white couple. The white couple were friends of Slim's uncle. When he had gave them the car, you know, he told them, you know, go meet up with this guy. He's a friend of mine. We served. Slim's uncle was in the army, I guess. And so the white guy was someone he was in the army with, close friend, and he was supposed to be putting them in connect with somebody that had a plane that they could use to, you know, I think they were going to try and get to Cuba. And so they get to the white couple. You can tell that the white man truly did have loyalty to Slim's uncle because he was trying to look out for him, keep him hidden. But his wife, she made a comment that, you know, it's a bounty on y'all head. You know, I think it was like $250,000 a piece for both of y'all, you know, if anybody had any information about their whereabouts or, help law enforcement track them down. She made the comment that reward money is enough to, pay our mortgage. And when she said that, if I'm Queen and I'm Slim, I'm gone. To the husband, I understand you may have good intentions of trying to help us, but her making a comment like that, I would have been spooked. It's kind of like, okay, you finna sell us out for this money. I would have left after that. But anyway, they ended up that was having dinner with the white couple, and then they see the police outside and moving in. I think one of the neighbors across the street had saw them when they first pulled up and called the police. So the police, come to their house, and at this point the white guy directs them to go upstairs and hide. Police come in, search the house. There's a scene where the police are asking the white couple, where are they? We know they're here. The white man, states that, I don't know what you're talking about. Even though Queen and Slim's car was parked right in front of his house, he made the comment, people park in the street, in front of our house all the time. So he really was loyal to Slim's uncle. He didn't rat them out. He did what he was supposed to do. He kept them hidden. He did his part. And then the officer asked the wife, where are they? And at this point, I'm thinking, okay, the wife in the snitch. She already made the comment that the reward money was enough to pay the mortgage. So I'm like, she finna snitch. But, she didn't end up snitching, and I was surprised. She was submissive to her husband, even though she probably wanted to snitch and tell him, they upstairs, they in the house. But she didn't say anything. And she kind of won me back with that. Because at first I wasn't really feeling her. But when she made that decision, she kind of won me back with that. Police are outside the house. A couple hours have passed. I think it's like morning time now. Slim, makes the comment that, we need to get out of here. And Queen makes the comment that, we just need to stay hidden, till they're gone. Slim, being adamant, she gets out of the hiding spot, goes to the window and tells Queen, we finna jump down. I think they were like 2 or 3 stories up. And she tells Queen, it'll be okay when you land. Just try and roll, and I guess you wouldn't hurt yourself. And then, like a goofy, she's telling him how to fall and land, and she jumps out the window first and almost breaks her hip. So I'm just like, you trying to tell this man how to jump out the window and land, and here it is, you supposed to be leading by example. You jump out the window and almost break your shit. So it's like, if I'm Queen, I already didn't want to leave, and then I see you jump out and hurt yourself. So it's like, why would I jump out? But he ends up jumping out. Funny enough, he didn't get hurt. They go to the garage of the white couple. They get in the car, and Queen is trying to hotwire the car. As he's trying to hotwire the car, one of the officers lifts the garage door and sees them in the car. He's a black officer. They kind of look at each other, stare at each other for a moment, and then the officer moves out the way and allows them to pull off. And I feel like that was real dope of that officer. I think he knew in his heart that they were innocent. He probably knew, the racial tensions that go on in America, every day. So I feel like he just was kind of looking out for him and allowed them to leave the garage and leave. They end up getting to Florida, and they link up with this guy who's supposed to have his plane. The guy says that, I don't have a plane, so whoever told you I got a plane told you wrong, but I do know a guy who has a plane. And he makes a comment. He said, I ain't got money like that, and I ain't got no plane, but I know somebody who do got money and do got a plane. When he made that comment at the gate, I'm like, okay, you can't really trust him. He's telling you, he ain't got no money. With that being said, ain't no telling what he'll do for $500,000. So when he first said that, I'm kind of like, I don't feel like, we can trust him. But they ended up going with him, going to his crib. He makes a call and he tells Queen and Slim like the plane will be ready tomorrow. And they say, nah, we gotta leave now. And then he turns around, calls whoever he calls right back, and then he gets out the phone and tells Queen and Slim, okay, he's ready, we just gotta go meet him. I knew something was up then, even more so. You're not finna call nobody trying to get a plane and they say it won't be available till tomorrow. You call them back in a few seconds and say, oh, nah, they ready to go, and then all of a sudden the plane ready. So I knew something was up, I wasn't feeling that. He was just kind of, his demeanor while he was on the phone was just suspicious. And then as he's riding them to meet the guy with the plane, he offering them to smoke. And I'm just like, it's just something about him. It just wasn't right. He had also made a comment earlier when he first found them that, we got to go back to my crib to call the guy with the plane because I ain't got a phone on me. You ain't got a phone on you, but you had a whole shotgun on you and a blunt on you, and you ain't got your phone on you, So it was just so many signs that he can't be trusted. You were wondering that about different people throughout the movie that Queen and Slim ran into and encountered, but with this particular guy, the vibes from him was strong. on. Like, bro, don't trust them. That's just, as I'm watching, I'm like, just don't trust them. They get to the runway, and it's this little plane, and they see the guy out there with the plane. The guy lets Queen and Slim out of the car, and he pulls off. At this moment, I'm ecstatic. I'm like, yes, they're at the plane. I'm thinking, okay, this is gonna end good, on a good note. They were innocent. They made it to this guy, with the plane, and now they can, get to Cuba, do whatever they gotta do, and maybe a sequel that shows, where they went and what they did. And as they're walking towards the plane, in the background, you just begin to see buku police cars pull up behind them. And at that point, it kind of confirmed it for me, like the black guy sold him out, the Florida guy. At first I was like, did he sell him out? Or maybe I knew it wasn't the white couple, because if they was gonna sell him out, they would have been did it when they were in their house. I was wondering, was it the black guy or was it the pilot? They end up, police pull up, they tell them to freeze, show their hands. They show their hands, and then the police end up shooting Slim. They shoot her and kill her, and then Queen picks her up and begins to carry her, and walk towards the police, and they gun him down. And then they turn around in the news and on the media and said that they were armed. Well, the gun that they had got from the police, but we hadn't seen it since they took it from, the police. Even if you feel like they were armed and dangerous, y'all shot Slim. Queen is literally carrying her with both hands, both arms. He's walking, carrying a whole body. He couldn't do nothing to y'all if he wanted to, but yeah, y'all still gunned him down. So I just feel like, and then for the media to say, the media said they had no choice but to fire and kill them. I just feel like that was a bunch of bullshit, and I feel like that goes on every day. That's why you can't necessarily believe what you hear and see in the media, because it's going to feed you the story that they want to feed you. That doesn't necessarily make it the truth because it's on social media or the internet or the news. But I just feel like that was very fucked up. In the end, righteousness still prevailed, even though, sad to say, Queen and Slim had to meet their demise. They gave a lot of hope in the black communities. People painted murals of them. Kids were walking around with them on their shirts. So in a sense, they became legends. The story of Queen and Slim, their journey, their legacy, if you want to say, that probably inspired a lot of people. It resonated with a lot of people. And a lot of people, the funeral was packed. They showed the mechanic crying when he finds out, that they were killed. The uncle is at the funeral. He's crying. The white couple is at home and they seeing it on the news. They kind of in distraught about it. So a lot of people were actually rooting for Queen and Slim to get away. A lot of people had their back, and it's just sad that y'all went through a guy and his son at a fast food place. Y'all went through a white cashier at a gas station. Y'all went through a white couple. Y'all went through a black police officer. Like y'all went through all these people who helped y'all along the way and didn't give y'all up. And then this one black guy from the hood just sells y'all out. And they confirmed that it was him because they show a scene as the news is talking about the situation. They show him sitting in his trailer counting the money, the reward money. So it's just like, this shit's sad to me. For them to have made it through all those obstacles and got as far as they got, and then this guy kind of just sold his soul for that reward money, for that $500,000, and probably ain't gonna do nothing with it or not do the right thing with it. But yet you just, you sold these two people out and ended up ultimately being the reason they were shot and killed. So it's just fucked up, us as black people, what we do to each other. It's senseless. It's no morals in it. It's no principles. It's sad, to say the least. It's just sad. The chick, I think that was like her breakout premiere in film. Towards the end of the movie, I liked her. I liked the natural, low-cut look. She wasn't all this makeup and all that. And I like she was just raw. She was just her. She was herself. And then she was a dark-skinned woman. You see this comparison with dark-skinned women, light-skinned women, and all this stupid, unnecessary, debate. Women are beautiful despite the color or the shade. She was sexy. She was pretty because she was herself. She was raw. She seemed soulful. She seemed intelligent. And throughout the movie, you kind of understand why she has an attitude, why she has a chip on her shoulder. She was an attorney, and her very first case was defending her uncle who actually killed her mother. So you have to watch the movie to understand it and kind of get all the details. I won't prolong this video any longer. That's my real raw review on Queen and Slim. Y'all let me know in the comment section what movie y'all would like for me to review next. I can't say that I necessarily do it because I go out movies that give me a feeling. But if y'all want to recommend some movies, definitely let me know in the comment section. I'll check them out. I thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all follow me on all social media platforms, on YouTube, C Jones, Facebook, C Jones, Instagram, C Jones the Goof. My page is music oriented. I'm a musical artist. I love to make music. I love to make real music about real life situations. But like I said earlier in the video, it's 2020 and I'm kind of just trying to give my subscribers and my fans and my followers more of me. And I'm a big fan of movies. Like I said, I love movies. So this is something y'all can look forward to in 2020. Just me expanding, just giving y'all reviews of movies that I watched that leave me with a feeling that I want to just have a conversation about. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. If y'all have seen Queen and Slim already, let me know in the comment section how y'all felt about my comments and my opinions. If you haven't seen it, go see it. It's definitely a must-see. It's a great movie. Shout out to all the actors, actresses, directors, everybody. Really dope movie. And I look forward to giving y'all another real raw review. This is C Jones, the Goof, and we out.
Wins and losses, wins and losses. I won it all, but then I lost it. Look, my daughter crawling, my grandma coughing.
My baby.
Wins and losses, wins and losses.